Alright, the current rumor is that the WWE Playboy thing is probably not going to be happening ever again. Vince is trying to push for more family-friendly WWE. You might have noticed that it's not as violent, not as brutal, and certain moves have also had a change. John Cena's FU went from being called the FU to the throwback, and now it's the attitude adjustment. The STFU is now the STF. Okay? So with this, trying to make it a little more family-friendly product, people started discussing what's going to happen when it comes to the annual Playboy tie-in for Wrestlemania. Lots of rumors flying was going to be Kelly Kelly. And Kelly Kelly said she wasn't going to do it, but she had meetings with them. So the current person for April now is former WWE developmental talent Lacey Von Erich, which I guess would make sense, since I think the Von Erichs were going to be inducted this year. So, I grew up watching 80s wrestling. And 80s, it was, for the most part, very, very family friendly. Very light on the swearing, most of it got settled inside the ring. It was brutal in the ring at times. You saw matches like the Piper Valentine dog collar match, which was just a brutal match, and you saw people really, really just get crap beat out of them. I think the Attitude Era really ranked up the sex. I mean, it just, that's always the point when people go back and the parents group's like, oh, well, they did, they pointed to the genitals like 197 times a show, and they said, suck it. Oh, it's just really horrible because they have all this nudity and all this crude language. And that was the Attitude Era, and that's what it was all about. It was a really hard, in-your-face, lots of sophomore humor. And then all of a sudden, we're seeing a 180 switch again, where it went from, you could watch it with your kids, to, okay, now we're geared more towards, like, the 17 to 35-year-old demographic. Then it kind of, we'll switch back, we're kind of too far this way, we'll switch back, try to make more family-friendly again. And that's why when you see John Cena, you'll see him, with lots of kids, or lots of, teenagers, lots of younger people. They're trying to make it more of, people my age, I'm almost 30. It's hard to get us really excited. Even though we have the money to spend on it, we're probably not going to actually, go to near as many events as we used to. Just because we remember when you could go there and you saw an awesome show. And now you go there and you see a pretty good show, but my first Raw was like $25 a ticket. Raw now is like $50 to $70 a ticket. And I'm not seeing twice as much as what I saw back then. And for most times, it's a hassle to get there. So now what they're trying to do is, they're going, well, you know what? The dad used to watch wrestling. If we can get the dad to watch it with his kid, because now it's not going to be, as bad. It's not going to be, super violent, super language-filled television. Maybe we can bring the family aspect back. Maybe we can try to take, people who are near my age, who are in their early 30s, who probably have kids. Maybe we can bring them to bring kids back into the event, because if you've ever been to a Raw house show and you see someone there with their kids, what's the first thing they do? They want to run to the souvenir booth. They want to buy, a couple of foam titles, John Cena inflatable whatchamacallits, and they want to get a bunch of cheap plastic, spinning medallions, the plastic Mysterio masks. So in some ways, I know Vince is doing this just to make a buck. Because he knows that, most people a little bit older, we're not going to buy as much merchandise. If we do buy, it's going to be something huge, like, the metal title belts. Are we going to go out and buy a t-shirt? No. Are we going to go out and buy, like, the bedroom sets or a waste basket? Are we going to go out and buy, the 3-ring John Cena spiral notebook? No, we're not going to go out and buy school supplies. We're not going to go out and buy backpacks. We're probably not going to go out and have, like the valence and blinds of John Cena. We're probably not going to go out and buy those things. But kids can, do that whole, but Dad, I want to have it. Okay, fine. So it's a way to get the parents to still support the WWE by buying stuff for their children. Kind of brilliant, yeah. For people who want to see Kelly, pose naked, sorry. Maybe once she leaves, she might do it. But currently, the person who's going to pose for Playboy is Lacey Von Erich. So it's someone who's loosely tied to the WWE, but not a direct diva. Does it make sense? Yeah, trying more family oriented. You don't want to have Playboy associated with your company. So, from a basic standpoint, I understand it. It's all business. It's always been business. So, hope everyone gets used to a more family-friendly, family-oriented WWE. Until it becomes more profitable to switch back to being the whole in-your-face, bloody, brutal, violent, Hell in a Cell style, stomping a mud hole, whooping someone's ass, calling somebody a hermaphrodite, telling somebody they can suck it, mooning people, genital humor. I guess until that stuff becomes more profitable again, we're going to have to go back to, everything's fine and dead, everything's going to be just a kind of Brock Lesnar had a comment one time, he was like, it's fine and dandy, like saltwater taffy, and stuff like that. So we're going to start going back to, you're going to see some emotional stuff, and then you're going to see a lot more stuff geared towards children. So every time I go, why does the Boogeyman have a job? It's because he can sell things to kids. Why does Hornswoggle have a job? Because he can sell things to kids. Why do I see Kung Fu Naki? He can sell things to kids. We're going to start seeing things where it's more geared towards children. It's getting more heavily merchandised, and the people who are against wrestling because it became like a capitalist merchandise machine are going to hate it a little bit more. Those who still watch wrestling, we're going to have to more or less deal with it. Vince is in this to make money, and he does it by aiming at children now. That's just going to be the way it's going to be. We're probably going to see less, no more bra and panties matches, probably no more lingerie pillow fights. We're going to go back to probably just seeing regular, everyday, closer to an 80s style of wrestling, just with a ton of merchandising involved in it. So, get used to the brand new 2009 model of the WWE.